Hi, my name is Zach Musgrave, and I am a software engineer at DoltHub. We're building Dolt, which is the world's first SQL database that you can branch and merge, push and pull, fork and clone, just like you would a Git repository. Today, we're going to be demoing for you how you can use Dolt's unique version control capabilities to recover from an operational error. So an operational error in database world means that you accidentally change the data in a way that you didn't need to, like you deleted some rows that you didn't intend, and you need to undo that change later on. So we're going to see how Dolt makes this really easy. So here I have a shell open to the Dolt database that lives in this directory, and I'm going to set a couple session variables before we start. This one says that don't commit a transaction every time I type a statement. And this one says every time I do commit a transaction, also create a new commit in the Dolt commit graph. So let's see what's in here. We've got three tables, and this is kind of a toy to model a standard customer billing profile. So the most important one is billing profiles. And here, this is where we store customers' credit card information, or a hash to it, along with an ID. Then we've got the customers themselves. And these contain some names, so we can email the customers or give them invoices, and then a link back to that billing profile so we know how to charge them. And then finally, we have a subscriptions table, and this just records which customers have purchased which of our products and when that subscription time started. So given all these three tables, we can run a billing pipeline that bills people for their subscriptions. So the operational event that we're going to simulate today is getting a fraud report from the credit agency. So let's say that Visa calls us and says that someone's card was stolen. So we have to stop charging that customer because we're not going to get paid if we keep charging that card that Visa considers fraudulent. So we're just going to go ahead and delete from the billing profiles table with that credit card ID hash. Okay, so we deleted that. We're going to commit that transaction and drop out of the shell here. So before we go any further, let's take a look at what we've done so far. I'm going to run the dolt diff command, and I'm going to diff the current head of this branch with the previous commit. So you can see that my deletes from the billing profiles table actually cascaded because of the foreign keys. Deleted the customer, and it deleted all the subscriptions that they had signed up for as well. Okay, so we don't know that this was a mistake. Meanwhile, the product continues running, and we're going to keep taking new signups from new customers. So let's sign up a new customer by inserting some rows into these tables. First, let's get a new billing profile for our new customer, and then a new customer entry. So customer's name is going to be Martha Washington, and we're going to associate with them with that billing profile that we just created. And then finally, we need to sign her up for some subscriptions. Okay, so now we have a new customer, new billing profile, new subscription purchase. Commit that transaction, and again, drop out of the shell. So again, we're going to run exactly the same command we did before. We're going to diff the current head against the previous commit. And you can see the three rows that we added here. Pretty straightforward. Okay, so now this happens for a while. We're adding a bunch of new customers. We're getting new signups. We're making more money. But eventually we get a phone call from the customer we deleted and says, hey, you deleted my account in error. I fixed my credit card. Or Visa calls us and says, actually, we made a mistake. The credit card isn't fraudulent. Please reinstate the customer. How do we do that? So days have passed. New customers have come in. If we were to simply restore from a previous backup, we're going to lose all of the information that we recorded in the database since that backup was taken. So that's a pretty bad solution. If we want to prevent that, we have to do something pretty labor intensive, like write custom scripts that go into the backup and find the information we deleted and then insert it into the current head. And these things are both very time consuming and error prone. So how can we do better? How does Dolt improve the product or improve the situation? Well, because Dolt is a version controlled database and we've got a commit in our commit graph for each one of these changes, we can just revert it. So you can see here's where we started. where I had last touched the schema of these tables, and the two commits you just saw me make are identified by these two commit hashes. And if we want to undo one of them, we can do that without changing anything else that came before or after. So I'm going to copy this commit ID and then pop into my shell and say select Dolt Revert with that commit hash. Okay, 0 means success, everything worked. And if I again run Dolt diff on comparing the current head to the previous commit, you can see that it undid the delete that I previously accomplished by doing inserts instead. So it's inserted all the same rows to get the data to back out the changes made by that commit that I made in error. And if you look at the rest of the database, our new customers that we've added since that time are still there. We haven't affected anything that came after. We just reverted the effect of that bad commit that I didn't want to persist. So here's Bill Simmons back where he belongs. So this is just one of the many ways that you can use these version control principles to make your database operations simpler and safer and more effective. Just the way you're used to in your source code, you can get a lot of those same benefits in a SQL database. And Dolt's the only SQL database in the world that can do this. Thanks for joining us. Please come back and look at some more videos in the future. We're going to have lots more use cases like this that show you how Dolt is going to make your life easier.